So, if you guys haven't heard, Outlast 2 got some gameplay this past week shown at PAX East, and the game is looking pretty phenomenal. Not only is the game beautiful graphically, but I think the themes that it's going to deal with are going to be very interesting. So, if you guys haven't seen the trailers, then I'd urge you to check them out. The two of them are going to be in the background right now, but there's two of them, and they're both around 5 minutes long, so go check those out if you haven't already. The first one we'll talk about is the village gameplay where the character is exploring some houses. The gameplay starts off with your character taking a tumble down a hill, and as he hits the bottom, he loses his glasses as well as his camera. So let me say this first of all. I played Outlast a long time ago. I think it released back in 2004 on the PlayStation 4, and that's when I played it. I haven't played The Whistleblower since it came out either, so if any of these statements are wrong, then please correct me in the comments below because I'm strictly going off memory right now. So anyways, we see the character lose his glasses, and that tells us right away that we're playing as a new character, since I don't believe that Miles Upshur, who was the protagonist in Outlast 1, nor Waylon Park, who was the protagonist in the DLC, had glasses. After the man stands up, he begins to walk to a building at the foot of the hill, and he yells for Lynn. Two things about this: I don't believe that either of the other protagonists spoke, so that's pretty interesting. And second, we can assume that the woman he is looking for has been taken by the cult in some way, but we'll talk more about that in a minute. So the man continues towards the path, and we see him knock on a door of a building and claim that he is lost. He goes further into the town and sees that the people are watching him from a distance. He then continues searching the village and hears a woman screaming, whom he assumes to be Lynn. He follows that voice and ends up at a shrine of some sort, which reads, Satanas Inimicul God, or deity. Okay, this is Latin, so I suck at this. But Satanas Inimicul D, which means Satan, inimical God. And if you don't know what inimical means, like me, then according to Google, it means tending to obstruct or harm, or it means unfriendly/hostile. He continues into the shrine and sees a bloody manger, and a little further than that, he sees a literal pile of dead babies. And then he continues past that, and he finds a well with children's toys all around it. And that's where the gameplay ends. Okay, so what I got out of this trailer was that the character we're playing as is probably new, and he's lost his wife, girlfriend, or sister, or something like that. What he's doing here is a little bit questionable. He claims that he's lost when he knocks on the door, so by this logic, it would make sense that he and his wife were traveling or something like that. Maybe their car broke down, and she went off to do something and got kidnapped, and now maybe he's searching for her, is what I gather. I don't know. However, there is something that I want to point out, and that is what he says whenever he first falls down the hill. He's calling out Lynn, and then he sees a clearly murdered man, and the man has a knife in his head by a battery, and the guy says nothing. He must have already had some knowledge as to what's going on here, or he took that corpse in stride way too well if he did not. I don't know, maybe I'm reading too far into that, but that just struck me as odd. So when we get to the shrine is the next major point of interest for me. Number one, it seems pretty obvious that the Satanas Imicil De, this village is home to some sort of satanic cult. Number two, when he walks into the room with the manger and it's all bloody, and then into the room of dead children, it seems very likely to me that this cult is trying to produce the Antichrist, and with all the dead children, they're probably failures in some way. So this may offer a reason as to why the cult took the character's wife, sister, or daughter, or whatever. Presumably probably to rape her, I guess. It's bringing back... What was that? The Hills Have Eyes, I think, was the second one, I think, was the one where they took them in and they were raping the women. But, yeah, that's all I have for the first trailer. Now let's get into the second trailer. And the next trailer, it seems to take place after the events of the first one to me, because it seems like our hero's getting up after getting pushed down a staircase, and it seems further. I don't know, I guess. But anyways, our character goes into a cornfield, and the trailer is basically gameplay of his escape from this near-death encounter. So a few things in this trailer that I'd like to point out as well. First is the voice that's coming over the intercom system. This is the same voice that was in Red Barrel's Jude 1:14/15, and I guess that this is the leader of the cult speaking to his followers. Second is about the gameplay. The gameplay doesn't seem to have changed much at all since the first Outlast, but this has two notable things that I saw, with the character hiding in a water trough and the character hiding in a metal barrel. I'd assume that the barrel, it will pretty much operate like lockers in the past game, and they seem to function in much the same way, since it would kind of look weird if they had lockers in the middle of a cornfield, so they probably just replaced them with barrels. As for the water, I'm assuming there's going to be some way of like holding your breath, or there'll be a period where you can hold your breath, and that'll kind of make it more stressful when you're hiding underwater. So, but there was no indication of that from what I saw in this trailer, so that's something to take note of as well. Alright, so the last thing I want to talk about is the correlation between this game and the previous Outlast and the Whistleblower DLC. It would appear that this game has no correlation based on the gameplay that we've seen, and the fact that Red Barrels has said that the game will take place in the same universe, but it will have different locations and different characters. That being said, though, I would at least like to see some sort of mention of the events at Mount Massive, at least for a sense of continuity. And if they don't do that, then they just really must like burning crosses, because they burned the Preacher on one in the original game, and then the teaser trailer, if you guys saw that, they had a burning upside down cross, so I don't know, I guess we'll see on that one. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much all I have to say about these two trailers that were released. I did really enjoy the first Outlast game, and I'm very much looking forward to this one. It's supposed to come out fall 2016 sometime. I'm just hoping that they really have some interesting characters again, because I think the interactions with the patients at Mount Massive was what made the first game so interesting to me, I guess. But, you know, they had like Trigger, they had the Naked Twins, so I hope they can replicate this with some more interesting interactions. But anyways, guys, that's my opinions on the trailers. If I missed anything or got something wrong, or you guys have any input on the trailers or the original game, then leave it in the comments below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you all in my next video.